Hey everybody, what is up? This is Devin, LaVore, and
Michelle LaVore
coming at you. You didn't laugh at me that time.
No.
Oh, just all right. I think I'm kind of missing it. You know, at one time you don't want to be made fun of, but now that I'm used to it, I miss it. I'm just kidding. But anyway, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. So listen, this is going to be like a first little piece of business that we need to take care of real quick, and it's about like giving and donations and PayPal and all that. You know, apparently there's some sort of a scam that's like hot again right now regarding people using, you know, our identity or other YouTubers' identity who use PayPal as a support-based thing or whatever, and they're going and they're getting in the comments and they're asking you specifically for donations with our faces and all that. It's like, first of all, we never, capital N, ever do that. Yeah. We never do that. We're never going to seek you out personally and say, hey, can you give to us? Nope. Sorry. Especially for those of you who know me well enough, you know I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? We're just not going to do that. Mm-hmm. The only time you ever hear us talk about money is when we're grateful for those who give to us and continue to give to us. And so thank you for that, by the way. Praise the Lord. But we're going to do it at the beginning of our video. It's kind of like church, you know. Here comes pastor and pastor's wife. Here's the offering plate. If you want to give to it, great. Let's move on. We do need it. It is a need. It's a constant need as long as we're in this situation. You know, no matter how big or small, the stuff drains. And so you make your needs known because the Lord told us to do that. But that's the only time we ever mention it. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll say, hey, there's a PayPal link. If you want to give, great. Don't ever respond. We're not going to email you. We're not going to get in the comments and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we're not ever going to do that.
You would receive as a thank you.
Pretty much. And those are people who've already given. Yeah. So I just wanted to just throw that out there to, like, you know, don't get tricked or deceived into thinking that just because someone has our picture and they're asking you for money, which I have not had any reports of that happening from our channel, but it seems to be happening to a lot of other channels. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, we're going to get ahead of this game and let you know we're on board as well. We don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, that happened to Lana Vosser there for several months.
Yeah.
Like, it was just an onslaught. And people were creating entire channels and Facebook pages with her on it and saying, give to me, give to me. And it's just like, well, that's all you're doing. You don't know Lana very well. Yeah. Is all she's seeking you out to ask you for money. She never does that, ever. Yeah. She doesn't even talk about money. And so I'm like, anyway. So I just want to throw that out there. So, what's that called? A PDA? No, that's a public display of affection.
It's just
public
a PA.
Service. PSA. There you go. A PSA. Public service announcement. Although PDA is nice. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, welcome to the channel. And we just pray you guys are going to be blessed by what we share, and that we are a support-based channel. There is a PayPal link below. If you want to give to it, give to it. But huge thank you to all of those who do give to us. Mm-hmm. So greatly appreciated. Some of the stuff that we've been able to do recently has just been super awesome in regards to the giving. And it's just like God has just super blessed us to be able to, you know, take care of some things that have been needing to take care of. Every once in a while in this position, you're kind of like living paycheck to paycheck. You know, it's like no different. And it's like, so if something major happens, it's like, oh Lord, what are we going to do? What do you mean, oh Lord, what are you going to do? You're going to do what you've always done. You're going to seek the Lord and He's going to provide. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In His time frame and everything. So huge hug from us to you who give. And man, Restoration Play. Act 1, Scene 47. Mm-hmm. Dear Lord, we about ready to end this Act 1, aren't we?
I think so.
And so we are excited and anticipating. We're full of hope of what God's getting ready to do. But did you want to touch on it? Did you want to start?
So like Devin said, we are in Act 1, Scene 47 of the Restoration Play. And it has been just... it's been a really amazing week with the Lord. He has been speaking so much. It was funny, I really haven't had time yet to go through typing out the week on our computer. Normally I try and get it done by like Saturday, but I'm a little...
The girl is double journaling.
Yeah.
She's journaling everything, and then she's got a little document on the computer that's just restoration play, so she ends up writing the same thing twice.
But it's great. Basically. It gets it in your mind. But
yeah,
this morning we were just going through, and I was just like, all right, let's start back. And I was just going through my journal from the beginning of the week, and I was telling them, I was like, this was from like a week ago. I feel like it was from 3 weeks ago, because there's just so much. Sometimes the Lord just packs so much into it, and it's like, that's right. That's what we were talking about. And so there's been just so much that the Lord has done this week, and just even small ways that I feel like for myself personally have brought about great, huge breakthroughs for me. But one of the things that the Lord, a theme that he had throughout the whole week was just this theme of being led by the Spirit. And we literally started off right away, the first day of this particular scene, where God was just speaking to us about being led by the Spirit, and the fruits of being led by the Spirit versus the fruits of being led by the flesh. And
then we're getting random confirmation videos on the same thing, like the Joyce Meyer videos. We haven't listened to Joyce Meyer in years.
Yeah.
And then she just pops up on our YouTube like, being led by the Spirit, be led by the Spirit. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, it was like, really cool.
Wow.
I love it. I really love those things. It's like God just can surprise you with just even how he comes about and bringing confirmation to the word he's speaking in your life. And so it was really cool. It was like we had a little popcorn of Joyce Meyer at the beginning of the week, and just really speaking to being led by the Spirit, and just following him as you go, and just being led by peace. And so that was just it was just really a thread throughout the whole week.
Throughout the whole week.
Here you go, just continually, hey, be led by the Spirit. It's my presence that's going to lead you forward, and all of those things. And so that was really awesome how we kind of started our week. And
and then the rest of our week was led by the Spirit.
Yeah. And but then we also we had this other video that we listened to, and it wasn't a video. It was from the Elijah list. I know they put out a ton of things.
We kept getting Elijah list pop-ups on my Facebook. I'm like, this never happened.
It was just it really was like popcorn. I keep thinking really popcorn because like, I feel like especially
where is this coming from? It's popping up.
Yeah, like Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. I feel like it really was. It was like popcorn. Like, hey, here, and it was popcorn because a lot of what we listened to with Joyce Meyer, they were like 1 to 2 minute clips. Like they weren't very long, and even like what we read on the Elijah list, it wasn't like a super long read. It was fairly short, but it was talking about just the Lord bringing down walls. And it was a huge part of what God is talking about when he's saying, being led by the Spirit, but he's also talking about he's bringing down walls to lead you out into these new places in your hearts and your lives, but also in like the physical, where the Lord's like, no, I am going to be taking people beyond their boundaries and expanding them in the areas that I've called them to go. And so that was a piece of it as we like continue to go through the week of just like God's like, no, I am here. I'm leading you by the Spirit. I'm bringing down walls. And that's really for me. I feel like this week the Lord brought down some walls for me personally, of just like the wall being something that's blocking you, like from maybe pursuing and going further in a direction, whether it's fear or whatever it might be. And so for me personally, there's just been this wall blocking me as far as just like with our promises. The Lord has promised us. Like one of the things is like going on a road trip, and it was just like, Lord, I have this faith for it, but there's just a wall blocking as far as even just like looking into like planning it. And so it was like the Lord was like, let's just break down this wall. And so I was able to go into this time of just really kind of planning with the Lord, and it was amazing. It was awesome, and I loved it. And
more popcorn.
Yeah.
Because Queen Alita, she came out with a video talking about just go ahead and plan your wedding. Just plan it. And I was like, whoa, plan the wedding? What do you mean? It's like, because we kind of relate the different things that God's going to do with us with a wedding and the honeymoon and then entering into the home, right?
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I wasn't really sure if I was supposed to listen to it. I was like, I don't know if this is for us or not. But I started listening to it, and I was like, oh, no, this isn't for us, you know? And sometimes the thumbnail is all you need, you know? And so it was just, what she was talking about in there was like planning it anyway, even though you don't know the outcome. And there was this another Elijah list thing where this lady was like, the Lord said to her, take steps even if you don't know how it's going to happen and how it's all going to work out. Just keep taking steps, you know, even if you're uncertain of the final outcome. And it's just like, and then this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then your wall is coming down. Because normally what happens is you get into it and you're just like, this is so awesome, this is so awesome. And it's also discouraging.
Yes.
Because they don't know when it's going to happen and where are we going to get the money to do all this stuff. This is crazy. And it's like, it's like you're really stepping into the faith realm of like, well, how is this going to happen? This is like kind of crazy. You need to be basically rich to do to do this. And it's just like, whatever, you know. And then so you back out, and then you're kind of bummed and depressed, and that's the wall. You hit the wall of time and how and when. That time frame again.
I know. But it was just being able to go past that, and the Lord just like, no, put in like desires of your heart. Put in things like research and like go ahead and like put things in place so
plan that wedding.
It's almost, I really felt like in a lot of ways it was like, okay, you have all of these like placeholders, and it's like if the Lord uses it, you're ready. If he doesn't use it, it's no big deal kind of thing.
Right.
And just like go ahead, put your ideas in,
don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's like just fill it up, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, so in that sense it's like you're prepared for it. You know, my bucket's full. It's like, oh, what do you need? Oh yeah, here you go, here it is. You know, it's like it's all ready to go. It's not, there's no searching involved. And so it really was an awesome experience for me,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing because it's not been an awesome experience before.
Like Devin said, it usually ends, I'm excited, I start looking at things, and I get really discouraged.
Well, and then you come against the wall of time frame and money, and it's just like, oh, well, I don't have answers for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even a very good climber, so I don't even think I can rappel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and so it was just this really cool experience for me personally, and just how like the Lord was really helping me, and just like just allowing my heart to dream, to go, and the fact that he's like, I do care about you. It was really cool. I had, around here, they have this, like, cars and coffees thing. Basically, it's, like, this place where, like, you know, like, cars, like, supercars or just, like, cool, like, sports classic cars, those kind of things. They can come, anybody who owns one of those, they come and they park their car, and then the public can just come and look at cars. And so it was something that I was like, oh my gosh.
It's like a flea market car show.
Basically.
You know?
But I was
really
just
cool.
like, I saw it, and it just happens like once a month around here.
Like the first Saturday.
Yeah, the first Saturday or something.
Every month, yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, it would be so amazing, like, to go, because I know that, of course, Devin is a car guy, and you know, our kids would love it too.
If you know me.
All roads lead to cars.
It's like our 7-year-old said, all roads do lead to cars because cars go on roads. So
yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
Yes. And so I just had this idea, like, oh, it'd be so fun just to go. But then, like, as we're coming closer to Saturday, it was just like, I don't know if this is even something that the Lord wants, because it's in the morning. I don't know how it's going to work out. And so...
And I was like, well, if we go, we go. I mean, we don't have to. I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't...
But my heart, personally, it was just like, okay, well, this is something that I think would be cool. And I was really struggling because sometimes I am such like an activities like person. I love to go and do things and just that sort of thing. But most of this journey, really, the Lord, I mean, he's pretty much like shut that down. Like it's just not been possible. It's not even something that it's like I've had to really learn. Like I can be excited about things, but I just have to.
It's like, do you love me at all?
Wait.
Do you care about anything that I want?
but it was just, so I was really struggling with just like, maybe this is again one of those things where I just really I would love to go and do this, but I don't know that it's really something the Lord wants us to do. And so there was just this kind of fear or just like back and forth tug on my heart with it. And so Saturday morning, it was just, for me, it was like, well, maybe if we have time after God time, we can see if we can get there. I don't know. And it seemed like it might not happen because it was like,
sometimes our God times go long.
Yeah. And so we're basically in God time. We had done worship, and we got done with worship, and Devin leads the God times in the morning. Yeah. And you want to tell...
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we got done with our worship time, and normally it's like, hey, does anyone have anything to share from what you experienced during your worship time or whatever? No pressure, but if you have something to share, the Lord was like, no, we're not doing that. Come on, let's go. We're going to go to the car show. Go to the Cars and Coffee thing. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about that. But it's I literally could not do anything else. The Lord just shut everything else down. He was like, come on, let's go. We're going to go. And I was like, okay, guys, I guess we're doing something different.
Yeah.
You know? And so we ended up going.
So we ended up going, and then we came back. And it was really fun. It was just like...
it was cool.
It was a really cool
really cool
little thing that we got to do and walk around and stuff. And
it wasn't little. It was huge.
Well, I guess it
was a whole parking lot, like
that's true.
A movie theater parking lot, both sides, all the front and everything. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of similar cars there.
Yeah.
And,
but it was cool. Pretty cool. And so then we come back and we finished up our God time, but it was like ultimately it was funny because it was one of those like somewhat small things where it really just like as the afternoon continued and I was into journaling during the nap time, it was like this part of my heart, it just broke open, and it was just like, God, you really do care about, like, I don't know, it just, there was this sense of that God really cares about even the insignificant things, and it was like, he wanted, it just let me have freedom to really just, like, go ahead and put those desires out there. Let it be made known. Let the Lord know all those little things that you might not think are important, because it's all a part of the relationship with the Lord. And he was really just showing us, he's like, it's about relationship. It's about...
It's like we can do God time and...
Yeah. It's like it's all a part of it. It's like I use that to bring something to your heart, and so because we went, and I just really saw like, whoa, Lord, you really are just like I don't know, there's that freedom for me to just kind of dream with the Lord, and that just like opened it all up for me.
That did it for you, huh?
It did.
See? It was like a seed sown in our hearts. So
and
what
and
are
I
you
was
doing?
Just like, all right, I'm on
awesome.
this. Like, let's go and just like plan and dream and like get all this stuff out there. Like, just go ahead and do it for the vacation for the road trip.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is so amazing, and to just really have the freedom to go and do that. And
well, can I touch on that real quick before you continue with the road trip plans? While you were talking, it was just like, wow, Lord, you really do care about these things that are little and insignificant. And it reminded me of Adam in the garden after he ate the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And it's like, well, Lord, I heard you walking, and I knew that I was naked, and all that. And he's like, who told you were naked? You know what I mean? And so it's like, who told you that those things were insignificant? You know what I mean? It's like, who said?
Yeah.
Like, where does that come from? Does that come from the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, if you know it doesn't come from the Lord, then it doesn't. He's not only is he going to reject it, but he's going to actively expose it in you to show you that this is what you think about it. It's like, you see that? You think that this is insignificant. It's not insignificant to me. Are we in agreement? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we need to get rid of that idea. We need to get rid of that mindset and that thought. It's like, who told you that your desires were insignificant? You know?
Yeah.
Who told you they were little?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it was just really awesome because for me personally, like being able to go through just the road trip with the Lord, it really was just like a with the Lord, and just like you know, time frames aside, let's just plan things out, and like just find, like, there were certain things that I was finding as I was going along in the different places that I was like, oh, we could stop here, and I was discovering like all these different things that I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. So I got to just put that in different folder files on our computer, and
see, and that's a restoration in and of itself.
Yeah. And
for you
so
to have that experience turn out to be way bigger because you pushed past the walls and the boundaries of time and money.
A lot of it too was just fear. A lot of it was just, well, what if the Lord doesn't want us to do that? Well, I'm afraid that, okay, I want to get it right.
That's what the wall's made of, right?
It was like, it's like, I want to get it right. I don't want to just push for my own thing. But the Lord is just like, yes, and I've been trained in that to not, like, I know how to, okay, not push for something, but the Lord's like, I do want you to bring it out, but then allow me to just work with it and move it and go with it, and it's just been like, whoa, that is just, it was really just an amazing experience personally for me throughout this week of just how much, like, from the start of last week to the end of last week, it was just like, whoa, this is like 3 so weeks amazing which is why, like, going through everything this morning and just looking at it, it did feel like, wow, that felt like it was a month ago or something, but just to see how quickly God can change and transform things is just truly amazing.
Yeah.
No.
For sure. It was really awesome. I was super blessed because when you were telling me, you're like, you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and plan this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I felt the anointing. Mm-hmm. I felt it going. I felt the Lord going, ooh, this is very exciting. Mm-hmm. Yes, come on. Come on. It's like when your kid is starting to take the first steps for the first time, you know. We take a lot of first steps in our walk with God. We do a lot of Jordan crossings and Red River, Red Sea crossings in our life, where we come to these points in our life where we're like, everything behind us is literally behind us, and we need to launch forward there, but man, we need a miracle from God to get there. Sometimes that's financial, sometimes it's relational, sometimes it's this, that, or the other thing, but we get to those points a lot in our life, and it was just like you were taking your first steps, and he was like, yes, come on, you're gonna go past the boundaries and not let this stuff take you down anymore. This is amazing. Come on, let's do it. Yeah. It was awesome, and I knew, I was like, this is huge. This is like majorly significant. So hope that came across well, because it was huge.
Yeah. Well, and it was cool because even I was working on it yesterday, and I was seeing a lot of 111s, 222s, and throughout as I was just going, you know, of course you're going to see lots of numbers and stuff because you're online or whatever, but
yes. I was watching football the other day. I saw a ton of prophetic numbers. I saw 15. I saw 77. Yeah. It's like, were you watching football? Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Well, you may want to shelf those.
But the Lord
Pray about it.
But the Lord will popping, and it was just like the 222s, 111s were just like popping out all over the place. And
popcorn. You need popcorn for a play. You know what I'm saying?
There's just popcorn.
It's that end of the play, end of the act.
Maybe we're going into the, what's that called? The
finale? Or?
No, the in between.
The intermission.
Intermission. I was going to say intercession, and I'm like, that's not right, because
that's what it's going to take. That's what you're going to do in the intermission.
It's like you get concessions
during the intermission.
So intercession.
After you take some time to have some intercession.
Anyway,
don't start regression.
But yeah, so it was just really awesome because for us, like the 111, one of the scriptures that the Lord has with that is Mark 1:11, and it's like, this is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased. And so for us, a lot of time it just expresses the pleasure of the Lord. And then the 2:22 for us has a lot to do with the Lord opening his hand to give to the house. And
the head.
Yeah.
Opening his hand to give to the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it was almost like during this whole time that I was just doing stuff with the road trip, those were the numbers I was seeing. And so it's almost like the Lord's like, I'm opening my hand to give to the house, and I'm pleased like that you're actually going through and doing all of this. And so it was just really amazing.
Because faith pleases God.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you really are believing. And so you're like, you are literally building barns and preparing for harvest and rain.
Yeah.
You're like Noah, building a boat. All you get every day is dew.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Rain. What is that? You know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. On to part 2. Okay, so the next part of our video is more of like a prophetic word that we feel like the Lord shared with us, that we really felt like it was supposed to be a part of this video. And that has, and it's the Lord saying, prepare to see a convincing manifestation of his presence in your life. And where did I get that? Well, there's a lot of story that goes into it, but I'm just going to give you the end result pieces, okay? Exodus 24, 10 through 11, there's 70 elders, along with, there's actually 74 altogether. There's Moses, Aaron,
and his two sons,
Nadab, and the little baby Abihu. And 70 elders, they weren't babies, obviously. They went up onto the mountain, and it says, and they saw God.
Yeah.
It says they saw God. It says it there twice in verse 10 and 11. It basically says they saw God, and he did not break out against them. He did not rebuke them for their boldness or anything. They came up and they saw God. You know what I mean? Because he told them to come up.
Yeah.
You know? And it says, and they saw God, and they ate and drank.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like, come on up for dinner. Come to my house for dinner.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, okay. Oh. They came back down the mountain. We're like, we're still alive. You know? But what the Lord shared with me there is like, this is what I'm getting ready to do. It's like, prepare your hearts. Prepare to see a convincing, in the Amplified Bible, it says a convincing manifestation of his presence. Meaning, it wasn't a prophetic word. It's a prophetic word telling you that it's not going to be a prophetic word. But it's God saying it wasn't a prophetic word anymore. It wasn't a hope in the Lord or continue waiting and all that stuff and just keep the faith up and all that stuff, but keep waiting. It wasn't that. It was like, here it is. Here, you literally get to see God. It says that in Exodus 24, 10 and 11. It says they saw him. They saw the God of Israel, and they were saved. It's 2:22 right now. Let's just go ahead and throw that right on the video. Okay? Talking about your 111s and your 222s. And so, Lord, I'm just praying right now in the name of Jesus that you would just give us free. No, I'm just kidding. Give us a manifestation of your presence.
Yes.
And so it's like you just see it. It's like when a baby's born, that is a convincing manifestation of like, wow, you've given birth to a baby. I don't think you can get any more convincing than that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you start to see the head coming out, it's like, oh, that's coming. Yeah. That's coming. Prepare yourself. Get yourself in position, you know. And then it reminds me of all those visions I got when we first got into this room, the labor and delivery room. I thought all that stuff was going to be happening then. I still am not I still got to get on the program of the time frame of God, but I was thinking, wow, I think those were all just like visions God was giving us of what we can expect to see while we're in this place. You know, there's a stage where he comes in and he's like, oh, how are you guys doing? Okay, you're doing all right. And then there's a stage he comes in and he checks us. And then there's another stage where he comes in where he's just like, okay, I gotta be right here in the midst of things because I can see the head. We're just getting ready to come out. So even the doctor, he prepares himself to receive and catch that which is getting ready to be born. So I felt like the Lord said that to us, prepare to see a convincing manifestation of the presence of God. Simeon saw it when it was like, hey, the Holy Spirit let him out. It's like, here's Jesus. Here's the birth of your promise right here. Yeah. And then that took me to Isaiah 40 verse 10, which basically says the Lord is coming with his right arm is going to rule, and it's going to be a mighty display of his power, and he's going to come with his reward. His reward is going to be with him. It's not going to be a pat on the back, I love you, just hold on for a little longer. No, it's going to be the reward, the manifestation of
Well, it's just kind of like when the bridegroom comes. It's like, hey, he's coming. It's time to get married. It's time for this to take place.
When you hear that shout, like the Matthew 25, right?
And it's like, all right, now's the time.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, he's come, and now we have to wait,
Hey, I'm coming here to tell you that he's coming eventually. It's like, well, we already knew that.
Yeah.
That's what our hope and our faith is based on. You got anything else? You're repeating a message. We already got that text, But then in Isaiah 62:11, it basically says the exact same thing as Isaiah 40:10. It's like declare to the daughter of Jerusalem, your salvation is coming in the person of the Lord, his person, him, the person of the Lord, a manifestation of his presence, and his reward and his recompense is with him.
Yeah.
Like his reward and the restoration. Two totally different things are coming. So, and then the Lord's like giving me specifics. He's like, this is what I want you to understand. I don't want it to be a confusing thing. Well, what are we believing for? Nope. We're believing for a manifestation of God's pleasure. He's going to show how pleased he is with us. And there's going to be a convincing manifestation of his giving. He's going to give to us, to many of us who need different things for whatever it is that God's put on our heart to believe for. He's going to give to that. And it's going to be a convincing manifestation like, whoa, Lord, you really are into this. This really is you. You, again, are still just, you're giving the word and you're performing it. Yeah. You're saying, this is what I want to do, and then you're funding it. This is not unusual for the Lord to do.
Yeah.
It's not unusual. It's just maybe unusual for maybe us to experience because maybe it's not a common thing. After 3 years, it's still not common for me, doing what we're doing, It felt like the Lord's like get ready to see a convincing manifestation of my presence in elevation and promotion.
Yeah.
And also in victory in areas of our life, like what you just experienced. That's just a little sample of what's coming. And then also in his favor. Yeah. Like just so it's like the pleasure, the giving, the promotion, the victory, and the favor. Should I say it again? Pleasure, his delight in you, his giving to you, his promoting and elevating you, giving you victory and having favor upon you. I feel like that's what the Lord's saying. It's like, get ready for these things that are going to happen because they're going to happen. And then after that, and I think once I was done sharing that in that particular God time, I looked up and it was like 10:11. It was like 10:11 a.m. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy because this is how the prophetic numbers work when the Lord is using it, not when you see it on every football jersey. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, it really is the Spirit of God taking out his holy highlighter. Well, because I read from Exodus 24:10 through 11. And I was like, wow. And then I got Isaiah 40 verse 10 and Isaiah 62:11. So that's a 10:11 right there. And I was like, there were like 10:11s all over the place at that moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that is the Lord. And I felt like the Lord said, when you see this, it's kind of like Isaiah 66:14, your bones will flourish and all that stuff. But it's like, the Lord's like, when you see this and this really does happen for you, the weight of the weight will be lifted. The Lord's told me this. He's like, the weight will be lifted. And he kind of, it was kind of like a two-prong type thing. Like the weight, the WEIGHT, the pounds, the metric, wherever you're from, however you weigh things, the stone, whatever it is. But then there's also the WAIT. It's both weights will be lifted. There will be no more delay because you don't have to hope for something you have in your hand.
Yeah.
Once you have that baby, everything's done. Pregnancy process, labor process, delivery process, it's all done. Now you've entered into something totally new. But then the waiting for that baby to come is also over as well. And so, just everything. And so just felt like that's what the Lord was saying there. Prepare for a convincing manifestation of the presence of God in his pleasure for you, giving toward you, elevating and promoting you, victory and favor.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I was just thinking about when you do give birth, it's really literally both of those things are over because the weight of carrying a baby
the literal weight
is lifted.
Yeah.
But the weight for the baby is also lifted.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's kind of funny.
Time to birth.
Yep.
Hey, we're in the delivery. We're in the third section of this whole process. So the third represents completion, an ending of something, and so it's pretty cool. But I think that's all we got today.
Yeah.
And so hope you guys are super, super blessed by it. And did you have any closing Michellian thoughts?
No, I don't really have anything else to share, but we do pray that you guys are blessed by what the Lord has spoken and what he is sharing, and just know, continue to just press into the Lord, and he will continually work upon your heart. He is in the restoration process. We are in the restoration play, and that is his heart. He's like, his heart is that he can restore our hearts to be made new in him, and that we would really see him for who he truly is, so that we can have that great relationship with him. And so so really, until next time, guys, we pray that you are blessed, and we will see you later.
Bye
Bye.
Well, just when you thought we were done.
Hope you have your popcorn.
That's funny. Well, because I was actually putting the camera away and everything, and I was just getting just felt like I had some stuff to share. I was like, Lord, this is weird. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It must be you. No, I'm just kidding. But, I was writing someone today, and I know that they're in real estate, and so I was asking them, I was like, so how's the real estate business going? And it really kind of struck me as like, why would I ask that? Like, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I care about them and I want to know how they're doing and how business is going for them or whatever. But there was just something about it that was just like, there was, I don't know, I think it was inspired, right? So I get to the end of this video, and I really am just I feel like I was getting a download from the Lord, and so I'm just going to share it. I don't know how it's going to come across, but here you go. I just felt like the Lord again began speaking to me about real estate, and I was just like, what is going on? And I felt like the Lord was saying that there's going to be a boom of real estate, and I don't know where it's going to happen, or I just feel like but that's where I felt like the Lord's saying it's going to be this boom of real estate that's going to happen, and whoever you are, so whoever this resonates with, it's probably you. So, and you are going to be kind of at the center of all the action, and you're going to be able to really be kind of like an Esther in the situation, and there's just going to be and I think you're going to see a manifestation of the giving of God in that situation where there's going to be this boom of real estate, and there's going to be a giving, but it's going to be a giving of connections and a giving of finances, much needed finances, and also there will be a manifestation of a promotion in there. You know, so as we're talking about all this manifestation, but it's going to be a convincing manifestation, like, whoa, the Lord is in this. You know, and it really felt like the Lord was saying there's going to be a real estate boom, and you're going to be in the center of it, and there's just going to be so much that like happens as I don't know that anyone's looking for it or expecting it. It's just going to just happen, almost like COVID-19. No one was looking for it, expecting it, and just boom, it just happened, and it changed the whole world for a year. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh. And so I feel like that, and so this real estate boom thing is going to be like a positive thing. You know, I don't know anything about real estate. The only thing I know about is looking on Zillow for houses I'm dreaming about. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that little piece, and I think now we're officially done, right?
I think so.
Lord. So anyway,
Well,
I think that's it.
Awesome.
So,
well, praise the Lord.
Yeah. So, hope that blessed somebody.
This is the end credit scene.
Basically.
Well, you know, I guess the Lord is having a theme with movies and popcorn and
being led by the Spirit.
Being led by the Spirit. So we have an actual, tangible,
real
life moment here of being led by the Spirit.
Because the Lord is talking about real estate boom, and you're going to be in the center of it. And I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I really felt like it was a real estate agent that I was talking to, and the person that I was emailing today is a real estate agent. So I was like, whoa, are you talking about her? Is that who this word is for? But I don't have any revelation on that, whether that is or isn't, you know, because not every word is for everybody. And so it's like, you know what, I'm just a mailman.
Exactly.
It's not my job to look in the mail and get all the information and then give it to you and say, here, I read your mail and I know all the details. I do not.
Yeah. But the Lord's just like, he's like, deliver the mail, and he gets it
to where it needs to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's actually the Lord's like, here, you have a letter. I want you to go mail this. And so you sent it out into the mail, and the Lord's going to deliver it to where it needs to go.
It's like, don't go reading into the mail, because you're like, ooh, this is going to be a real estate boom, and I'm going to be in the center of it. And no, not you. Yeah. Them.
Yeah.
Who's them? Well, they'll know when they hear it.
Yeah.
But then again, it could be us. I don't know. I'm just sharing, just being vulnerable. Yeah. How about that? So, stepping out.
So hopefully you enjoyed.
Being led by the Spirit.
Hopefully you enjoyed the end credit scene, and we're gonna have more of the movie to come.
I'm gonna put this at the end of our do 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 do. Yeah. You know, that little 7-second little thing.
So
see who catches it.
So yeah. So really, until next time, you know, just be led by the Spirit, and we will see you guys again soon.
Yep. Bye, guys.
See ya.